I really don't see myself in the foreseeable future getting rid of it. I probably won't. It's going to stay with me until it goes out. And if it goes out, I might be getting another one. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Justin Wolf, and today we're going to be talking about the Nikon D750. It came out in 2014, and it's now 2023, a full 9 years later, and the camera is still for sale on Nikon's website for $1,700. So that brings the question, in 2023, is this camera worth purchasing? Well, I've been using it for the past 6 years. Here are my thoughts. For a beginner or budget-oriented photographer looking to move from, APS-C or crop sensor into full frame, this camera is a great choice, even in 2023. I'm not going to be telling you all the specifications of this camera. When I say there's hundreds, there's 300, 400, 500 videos out there of the Nikon D750. It's been out for 9 years, and it's one of Nikon's, powerhouse cameras, right? It is, in fact, actually, if you go to buy it right here on the Nikon website, you'll see that it's sold out. So in 2023, this 9-year-old camera is still sold out. So it's got a little bit of a cult following with it, but there's obviously a reason for it, right? This is my setup right here. I've been using the Nikon D750 body with the Tamron 24-70 f2.8 lens for the past 5 years of owning it. Now, that has been my go-to setup. I use this for everything from astrophotography, even to portraits and, automotive photography, landscapes, some real estate. I use a little wider angle lenses for real estate, but this lens and this camera, amazing. For a budget, this setup will cost you now, depending if you buy used, anywhere from $1,500 all the way up to $2,500 if you're buying new. So I think that's a big point of this camera, right? The Nikon D750, infamous name. Then the D780 is out now, but at a price almost $1,000 more than this camera. Is it really worth it? I don't think so. I think this camera in 2023, based on its price, so if you're buying it new, it's $1,700. If you're buying it used from a website, let's say BH Photo or KEH, you're looking at a camera between $800 to $950. There is not another camera at that price point that's new or used that is going to be as capable as the Nikon D750 here. Another pro of this camera that I really like is the grip size of it. I have bigger hands. Now this camera is definitely not small in any means compared to the Nikon, or Sony's, the mirrorless cameras we have nowadays. This is a huge camera. With that being said, I do like the big firm grip on it though, right? I can get my hand in there, it's chunky. So whether you're looking for a big and bulky camera, I don't know, it's going to depend on your shooting style and what you're looking for with this camera, but I will say it is nice to have a big camera. I like the grip of it, but with that, it is weighty, right? So the weight might be a con for some of y'all. The one thing I wish it did have with that flip screen was the ability to touch. So you're limited to, on the Nikon D750, no touch, right? So you go here to the menus, you have to do everything with a button. You get used to it. I've been using it for 6 years, so I'm very, very proficient with the buttons. But, in 2023, we have a lot of camera options with the touchscreens, so it would be nice that you would expect it to have on it. But I get it, in 2014, you didn't have a touchscreen. So who is this camera for, right? That's a good question. Personally, for me, I had the Nikon D3400 before I moved to this camera. So let's say someone who's shooting on like an APS-C sensor, a crop sensor, Nikon D5300, D3400, looking to move into a more professional camera body, this camera might be for you. In 2023, this is the cheapest full-frame Nikon camera you can buy. Of course, there's the Nikon Z6 and a Nikon D780. Now, these two cameras are also really good, probably technically feature-wise better than D750, but for the price, the D750 is the move to make, right? If you buy it used or if you buy it new, it's still going to be the cheaper option of all those other cameras. So if you already have a nice setup of lenses for your D5300, D3400, D70-200, whatever you're coming from, this camera is going to be perfect for you. And all those lenses are going to fit on it. And if you're going to compare it to like a Nikon Z, a mirrorless camera, you're going to have to, get an adapter for your lenses. So again, I don't really want to go down the route of comparing this camera to a mirrorless camera, especially in this year, but this camera would be perfect for someone trying to go from beginner to more advanced / professional photography. Now, of course, this camera is also amazing at low light performance. So shooting weddings, you're shooting weddings, low light weddings, all right? This camera might be something to keep an eye on. Also, astrophotography. If you're like me and like to get out there underneath the sky, take really crazy pictures of the stars, this camera, dude, is going to be the one for you. I mean, look at my images and tell me this isn't crazy. So someone looking for low light performance, though, definitely would be interested in this camera. I say that very confidently. This is an incredible low light camera. Again, also like for portraits, this camera is perfect. It's great. The only downside I have for like portrait photography or sports photography would be the continuous shooting. It's limited to 6.5 frames per second, and the autofocus is questionably good in 2023. But still, for the price, I'm telling you, there is not a camera out here that is equipped just like this camera is. Y'all are going to be the ones buying a camera, but I've been using this camera for 6 years, and I will intend to be using it for another 6, although I will probably be upgrading to a Nikon D750 in the future, and that's going to be specifically for like landscape photography. I will still be using this camera for portraits, astro, and stuff like that, especially with real estate. This is my money-making camera right here. This is just, I really don't see myself in the foreseeable future getting rid of it. I probably won't. It's going to stay with me until it goes out. And if it goes out, I might be getting another one. So that's my takeaway from it. Alrighty guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. You know, from a D750 user, this camera is amazing. If you're looking to buy one, I definitely say go for it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on any of the social medias or in the comments section. I will try to help my best to answer your questions. Again, this is not supposed to be like a specification video, super technical. This is just my experience from using the camera for the past 6 years, what I've learned and why I'm going to continue using it. Hopefully you took something away. If not, you know, well, sorry for wasting your time. But if you did enjoy this video and you did like it, go ahead and consider giving me a subscription, a thumbs up, or a comment yelling at me and telling me why the video sucked. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. God bless y'all. Y'all be safe.